Welcome to another episode of Croc Talk. I am your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And on today's episode, we are talking about Deommodore Lenoir, cornerback out of Oregon. All right, we're going to get into the good, we're going to get into the bad, we're going to see how I thought he progressed from year to year. All right, so to see this video and much more, make sure you guys subscribe, patreon.com/Croc Talk. All right, so Demo first got on my radar a few years back when I was evaluating N'Keal Harry. All right, and I'm watching N'Keal Harry against Oregon, and I'm like, who is number 15? I mean, he was giving N'Keal Harry all he could handle, all right, whether it was at the line of scrimmage, whether it was from off coverage. I mean, he was breaking up passes. I mean, just strapping N'Keal Harry. That's when I started looking at N'Keal Harry a little different, all right? But we're going to get into, a lot of where I thought he has progressed since then. There's been some ups and downs in some of the film I watched. I had a tough time against Arizona State. We're going to get into that. And then when I watched him against Stanford in 2020, I thought that was one of the better films I've evaluated from any cornerback throughout this time. All right, so we're going to get into all that right now. All right, so let's get into the film. All right, we're going to get into some 2019 film where I thought he struggled, a bit at times. I want to identify movement skills and everything like that, and then I saw the progression from 2019 to 2020. But first, I want to get into some positives, all right? And we're going to talk about just his scrappiness and, I'm not taking no shit from nobody mentality. And that's the first thing I want to identify with guys, whether it's that or movement skills. I want to know who this guy is, and just a little scrappiness where he's like, look, you're not going to bully me. You're not going to push me around. You guys aren't going to have your way with me. All right, receivers and defensive backs, at the start of the game, you really want to set the tone. And if you let a receiver kind of have his way with you early on, put his hands on you, push you around, shove you around, let guys block you late after the play, push you and shove you in your face, they're going to try to disrespect you all game. And I thought from the jump, he let people know, look, I ain't no punk. I ain't going out like that. All right, okay, you're bigger than me, whatever. I don't care about none of that. I'm coming at you. And from that standpoint, I really like it because he's more of an aggressive guy. And I saw it with when it came to his tackling. I thought that he was what I call a willing tackler. A willing tackler means it's not going to be a big hit, but just are you willing to disengage from blocks, get off blocks, go in there, make tackles. When guys coming at you and you don't really have that angle to where it's like, whoa, I just got to go in and hit him. Will you do that? I thought he did that very well. So from that standpoint, I really liked everything that was going on inside of his head and how his mental makeup is. Now, anybody that's been following around with these breakdowns, I want to see, how are his movement skills, his feet, change of direction. I also want to see, are guys able to challenge that? Because, you can sit and watch an entire season of somebody maybe in, the Big Ten, and they might not get challenged from a movement skill standpoint, right? So I always try to look at, who's the best receiver that these guys face? And, how did that receiver make them feel? So when you go into 2019, again, there's going to be a 2019 portion and then 2020 portion of Demo's film. When you go into 2019, I thought he was challenged a lot from guys who I thought are really talented, right? You talk about the Arizona State receivers, Brandon Ayuk and Darby. You talk about USC, Michael Pittman. And when you just evaluate him from a movement skill standpoint, from people that matter, these are guys who are going to be at the next level, and they already are, right? We talk about Ayuk, into their first round draft pick, had a really productive rookie year. Pittman, top of the second round, so really only taking a few picks after Ayuk, and had some early success. There was some little injuries or whatever for Indianapolis Colts, but had success as a rookie. So I want to see, how does Demo play against those guys? And it wasn't always pretty, right? And even Darby got in on this as well, where, they challenged his movement skill standpoint. They challenged, how he was, reacting and whatnot. His feet, his change of direction. I thought Ayuk did a really good job of, being able to see him in space against him or playing pressed up. He gave up the game-winning touchdown that was not game-winning, but the game-sealing touchdown. 80-plus yards, off of a essential double move, or, half step is what I like to call it, where you take a half step and by the time the corner reacts, you're gone. So you're kind of able to see his transition in his feet. And again, we're going to get into 2020 where I saw some of these same things. I thought he reacted much better. But the Arizona State game, they kind of had his way with him a little bit, making him drift upfield while coveraging, whether it was in press or off coverage, and sitting down there routes, him still kind of going upfield, challenging his change of direction or his suddenness and quickness at the line of scrimmage. I thought Ayuk did a really good job of that. So there were a lot of circumstances that happened in that game that let me know, okay, I don't think he's quite ready right now. From watching this game, going into USC, saw some of the same things. Now, he did have a nice pass breakup in the end zone. That was really good to see him put his foot in the ground, get back downhill, and break up a pass. But I thought just other times when you're watching on a specific, or when you're watching just how does he, react to things on a consistent basis. I thought it was a little up and down even in that game, right? So I just want to see someone where he's more comfortable, reading guys down, running vertical with guys, not worried about, a guy running past him, not worrying about, hey, let my feet react, if a guy at the line of scrimmage and whatnot. And those are things I really wanted to see and identify early on. I did from 2019. I didn't think it was great, but I did think that he had the tools to improve on those things, and I thought he did going into 2020. Now, when you turn on the 2020 film and you're watching them against Stanford, and they had Simi, Oos, big homie. All right, so we're talking about a receiver that's 6'4", 222 pounds, ran a 4.41. So all the things that I wanted to see him get challenged by in the previous season, he was challenged by it again this year. Against Stanford's receiver, and I thought he handled it much better, right? And we're talking about somebody, I think the Simi kid, I think he's really good. He has nice twitch to him, has nice strength, nice power. He's explosive. He went vertically, consistently. Like, these are things he did a lot, and I didn't think he did it on Demo at all, right? We're talking about him at the line of scrimmage. I thought he did a really good job being able to mirror him and change directions with him, flip his hips. That was really good to see. I thought running vertical with him from whether it was press coverage or off covers, I think he did those things extremely well. In the end zone, he was playing press or playing off a little bit, but got to his chest, looked through him. The ball wasn't thrown his way, but I thought, like, those were things that I really wanted to see, and I thought he improved drastically from one year to the next. Now, obviously, this is a small sample size. This is one receiver, but this is an NFL level caliber receiver who I thought, Demo did an extremely good job being able to guard, in all instances. And he played well, not just against him, but all over the field. I thought he did a really good job. When those are the things I want to see, like, is he getting hands-on? Is he challenging himself from a movement skill standpoint, his feet, change of direction, those things? And he looked much more comfortable in this game. Yeah, there was like one instance where I thought he drifted upfield a little bit too much. But aside from that, he was really good in this game. And I think that's more of what we're going to get at the next level with him. All in all, I think he's a terrific prospect. He's somebody who probably won't get a lot of hype or buzz as, a day one guy, maybe even a day two. But I think when you start getting into day three and you're looking at the top cornerback available, I think he's going to be one of those guys, all right? So make sure you guys keep an eye on Demo. Really good skill set from the standpoint of his feet, his change of direction, his mindset, his just physicality, all that. It really jumped out to me, and I think that NFL teams are going to value that as well. So that's going to do it for this episode of Croc Talk. I hope you guys appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe, patreon.com/Croc Talk for this breakdown and much, much more. Let's get it.